Welcome to Under the Umbrella, a series where we invite experts to share with us the key things a homeowner needs to know about buying or selling a property safely and securely, all right under the umbrella. So how does this show work? On our table, there are a few questions that our production team has prepared based on the top questions asked by our clients and viewers. These questions are wrapped up in the cocktail umbrellas. Our guests will select one umbrella at a time to open and answer the questions that are wrapped inside. Once they answer all the questions, they will be rewarded with a drink. So let's get started. In today's episode, we have with us Pao, who is the Head of Research and Data Operations at 99.co. We will be sharing with you how data actually play a very important role in making the right property purchase decision, and also how you can use data to your advantage when you are buying a property. So Pao, thank you for coming on to my show. Right, maybe you can share with our audience a little bit more about yourself and 99.co.
Sure. Hi, my name is Pao, and I'm the Head of Research and Data Operations Lead at 99.co. So I lead the team of research and data operations, and we conduct property market research using data analytics tool and visualization tool as well. So I appear in the media sometimes to provide market opinions on behalf of the company, and our team also do our best to ensure high data quality, completeness, coverage, and accuracy for our data products and our clients and our consumers, as well as internal teams. So what do our company do? 99.co is the leading real estate technology company. I'm sure you know that. With operations across Southeast Asia, and we specialize in digital property advertising. So we are headquartered in Singapore, and we have operations in Singapore and also in Indonesia. With over, I think, 350 employees now. In Singapore, we have obviously 99.co, SRX, and then we have iproperty.com.sg. Meanwhile, in Indonesia, we have 99.co/ID and rumah123.com. Yeah, so that makes us actually the largest property portal in Indonesia. And our company is backed by some renowned investors like Golden Gate Ventures, Sequoia, and also Facebook co-founder Eduardo Severin.
Oh, that sounds like a really great portfolio, and I really want to thank also 99.co because very important stakeholder for us as real estate agents, because we actually use the data and research information that is actually provided by your portal, right, to actually advise our clients on how to make better property decisions. So, Pao, shall we begin with today's questions?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So let's take a look what.
Is it gonna be tricky or?
No, it'd be probably very close to heart to both of us. Okay, let's look at this first question by one of our viewers. What is your take, Pao, on the use of data in property?
So having been in the field, the real estate field for about 7 years now, and specializing in PropTech especially, I believe that the use of data, especially data analytics and big data, these are the future, especially in this industry, because as you know, years ago, decisions made in residential real estate were mostly based on not much data, but mostly like experience, gut feel, or even first impressions. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that we were working within with a limited amount of data, so there's nothing much that we can do with that. But I think fortunately with that, in Singapore especially, we have the authorities trying to enable the use of data, and they try to democratize data, meaning that making it more transparent for all the stakeholders to use it freely, which is why it also helped us as a private business to develop data products for our consumers, and also they can agents like yourself can analyze it for your clients. So this is definitely a good development to us, because it allows the use of data analytics to become one of the most important strategic making tools for real estate investments.
I definitely agree with you on that because I think the usage of data in property decision making is definitely more objective compared to emotional buying, and I think that is actually something that is
It's more scientific, yeah.
yes, correct, and also that's what guides our approach at Rain or Shine Property. Okay, let's look at the next one. Okay, this one says, how can data help homeowners with their property purchase?
So, I mean, we have a lot of data now, living in an internet era now, and it has certainly made, I mean, with the internet, it has certainly made searching for property so much easier compared to last time when we have to flip the newspapers to look at the classified property ads to find property listing. Now we have so many property portals, and also data is widely available in the internet. It's usually just a click away. So, I mean, some of the data sources that we can find on the web would be raw data like transaction data, listings data, and also like upcoming launches, upcoming supply, things like that. And we also have more advanced data and value-added data like X-value, price indices, and other data that is related to real estate development are also available. So like future MRT lines and stations, future development plans, things like that. So all these are great news to consumers, but I think something that we need to take note of is that because we are living in an era of information overload, so especially for the average user, I'm sure you have met them. I mean, if they're not well versed with like real estate analytics or even real estate terms, data analytics, data misinterpretation could occur and they could use the wrong data sources even. So that would not be very helpful when we're trying to make smarter property investment decisions. So from what we've seen so far, we think that it's sometimes it makes sense to engage or even just speak to a property expert to know more about the market and to assist you in your property journey.
Definitely, that's where I feel property experts, right, or consultants, or even realtors like myself come in and make better sense of the data that is actually this readily available in the market, and then help them because most of our clients have different profiles and different needs. So with all this amount of data, that I would say you are right to say that it's a little bit of overload. Which aspect or what data is actually more applicable to certain clients, I think that's where we come in and try to help them and help our clients make better decisions. Okay, that is thank you for that. Okay, this question says, are clients today requesting for more data before they make the purchase? I'm going to steal this question and try to answer this because I face this quite often. There's definitely an upward trend for that, right? I think with clients being a little bit more savvy now in today's market, they don't just ask for the usual PSF, how many units, what's the size. They ask a lot more in-depth questions, which I feel with the usage of data platform like 99.co actually assists me in better advising them. Right, we see an increasing trend of owners nowadays. They actually are becoming more savvy by using data, so they are not so emotional in the purchase. They also look at statistics. This is to actually, they also understand, right, how they can actually use the data to maximize the dollar to help them in the future exit. Right, to strategize this move, especially now it's not easy in Singapore to own their second property. Okay, so that's the reason why at Rain or Shine Property, we actually make use of a very detailed property analysis strategy to assist our clients, right, to determine actually when's the best time to buy or sell their property, right, what kind of budget is optimal for each and every unique individual, as well as deploying the lowest risk strategy based on our umbrella approach. I think that's something that we do here, right, at Rain or Shine Property. And I really want to thank 99.co for helping us by providing real estate agents like ourselves all these very important data analysis whereby we can help our clients make better property decisions. Okay, so I think I'm sorry.
Okay, answer?
Yeah. So maybe we will move on to the next one,
Sure.
right? So you'll take the next one, yeah.
But feel free to still use one more.
Okay, this one says, what are some data that homeowners should be looking out for, and where can they find it?
So there's actually a lot of data available on the internet. I mean, not just in our portal but also elsewhere. But I think some data points or insights that I think consumers should know will be our indicative valuation tool. It's called 99's property value or SRX value. I'm sure you have heard of it for so many years because it's been around, and a lot of users use it as a starting point for them to negotiate price or just get a rough gauge of their property's worth. So how it works is that you just enter your address for the property that you're looking at, and then select the property type, and then we'll generate the floor plan area, and we have all the details in fact in our database already. So it will all be auto-generated, and then you just click the generate button, and an indicative valuation will pop up, and almost instantly you will know the property's value that you are looking for. So this is actually powered by a strong team of data scientists behind the scene, and we have a very rigorous machine learning models that's been constantly improved over time because we know that there are so many users and consumers who trust it and rely on it so much. So that's I think the first interesting data insight that consumers should know. Secondly will be our the property analytics that we offer for each and every one of our listing, because in each of the listing, right, if you scroll down, you can actually see we provide property insights for this particular listing that tells you whether this listing is priced higher or lower than the average price in the area, or whether it's actually larger or smaller than the average, things like that. We also provide other data points like transaction data, volume trends or price trends over a period of time, and then for consumers they can actually also request for more in-depth property analytics like home report or market report from agents who subscribe to our services. So they should have the data products to assist you in your property journey.
So Paul, so you mentioned a little bit on the SRX value, and I think I get this question quite a lot from my clients. So maybe you can help me with this. When the X value of a certain property is being churned out, this value itself, how do you all really come out with this value? Is it really based on the recent transacted information or something more?
Sure, yeah, we get these questions a lot also. So people are either amazed or they're just curious about how we arrive at such an accurate value for them. And so to put it simply, because we have one of the most updated transaction database in Singapore, so it's easy for us to pick up the most comparable transactions for this particular subject unit. So that's the first part, and then we choose the most recent transactions like what you have mentioned. And beyond that, there are more algorithms behind it. I think there's a white paper somewhere in our website, yeah, that I'll probably share more with you, but essentially it's made up of the most recent transacted price that has the most similarities to the subject property that you are looking at, plus the other factors, which will probably, if I were to explain it, will probably make this a 2-hour episode. Yeah, so
no problem, because all they need to do is call me. Right.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay. So anyway, let's move on to the next question. Thank you for explaining a little bit more about how the SRX come up with this X value, which I use it quite often, right? To share with the potential clients. Okay, this one says, what is a success story that has used data to arrive at a conclusion that property is a good buy?
Success stories. I think one of the success stories that I can think of where we use data to actually evaluate a project to be a good buy would be Park Esta. So Park Esta is a project that was launched in I think late 2018 or around 2019. So it's in the rest of Central Region, RCR. So first thing first, we looked at RCR and we realized that according to our index, it had the strongest price growth among all the regions. From 2015 to 2020, it increased by close to 20%. So on an index basis. And then next we look at the new launches that are in RCR, and what we realized is that about 2/3 of the total sales volume were actually from new launches, and the remaining 1/3 was from resale. So that means that we have really high popularity for and high demand for new launches in RCR. So that's the second point, and at this point we've established that Park Esta, which is in RCR, would most likely attract a lot of interest, but we have to look at its pricing. So because we have all the data, right, so using aggregated data on a median basis, we realized that Park Esta was selling lower than the median prices in RCR. And you know that Park Esta is in a very strategically located place, right? So it's near Eunos MRT, a lot of commercial developments nearby, upcoming developments as well. But it's only selling at, I think, around 1.28 million or 1,700 PSF, or slightly lower than that. So this attractive pricing really made it a good buy, and I mean, combining with all the other data analysis and things that we have looked at, right, the qualitative aspects of it, there's no doubt that in our mind, Park Esta will be a successful launch.
I definitely agree with you, Paul, because I was actually one of the buyers for Park Esta, right? So you're right to say that at that point of time when I made a decision to actually buy a unit, okay, in Park Esta, definitely the data played a very important role, because during that time when I bought the unit itself, the asking price of the unit is actually much lower than I would say the median or the average, right? And it's also thankfully to all this data and information that's readily available from portals like 99.co. I was very convinced, and it was easy for me to make a decision to actually make this purchase, because the data shows that I'm buying below the market value. And that's what we do also at Rain or Shine Property, is to identify good buys, undervalued buys for our clients using property data usage, right? And definitely even for myself, I actually introduced Park Esta to quite a lot of my clients and my friends, and we're definitely looking forward to move inside, because it's actually should be TOP soon this year, and it's actually a very, very nice development. That's right, and it's right opposite the MRT station. So I think everybody who took our advice to enter the market for Park Esta, they are all sitting on paper profit now. So whether they are buying for own stay, whether they are buying for investment, I think everybody was quite happy with that purchase. So I think definitely data came in quite useful and handy for me to convince them.
It's great to know.
Yep, that's great. So let's move on to the last question. Okay, this is interesting. Now that we have so much data, I would say like data overload. What is your view and your outlook on data with property in future? I mean, how much more can it grow?
So we think that the long-term outlook for data and data analytics for this industry is definitely bright. I'm sure you agree with it, because we use it so much. And I mean, especially locally, we think that the development of and growth of data analytics can actually be faster, and as long as the industry players here and the consumers, they adopt big data and data analytics as part of their investment decision tools, right? They use it more quickly and more widely. We think that the growth can be even faster. So all in all, moving forward, we think that data analytics definitely would take a more central role for this industry, especially in residential real estate.
Definitely agree with you on that. Even here at Rain or Shine Property, in my company PropNext, we base all our advice on usage of data to advise our clients, and I think that is the most objective way, and not putting too much emotional into making the decision when our clients make the property decisions. And I think that has worked very well for most of us, and I think this is definitely the way to go, right, in helping our clients itself. Right, so we actually predict more and more usage, to be honest, in terms of looking at statistics, looking at data, as more home owners are more savvy, and the access to all this data is so readily available, because even 99.co, I think, is a very consumer-friendly portal whereby
That's what we hope to do,
yeah. But of course, subscribers like ourselves, we have more tools, right? And that's why they have to stick to us. Okay, so anyway, as mentioned, property is definitely a big ticket item. So I really encourage all clients to reach out to us, right? So that we can help you make sense of the data that's being provided in the market, to help you make the best property decision that you have to make in this journey of your real estate. Okay, so thank you, Paul, for coming on our show, right? And all the useful tips that you have given to us regarding data usage, right? Do you have any tips or any other words you would like to share with our viewers who are watching?
I think because we are living in the internet era, so a lot of our consumers are very data savvy, and a lot of focus are placed on user experience. So that is what we do, all of our teams at 99 Group does on a daily basis, is that we are trying to make our apps, our websites, and our data products, and including products that are facing agents like yourself, to make it more user-centric, and also making sure that our data quality is the best and the most updated, so that we can better serve our consumers and clients.
So Paul, thank you for coming on the show and sharing with our viewers a lot of insights about data usage in property. We hope our viewers learn a thing or two about property data usage and how you can actually leverage on it to make better property decisions. If you are looking to purchase or sell your property, please click on the link below and visit our website to find out a little bit more about our umbrella approach and how it actually really works, and how you can stand to benefit from this strategy like many of our clients. So as of all our episodes, let's reward our guests, Paul, with a drink. So Paul, thank you again, and cheers to a better 2022. And thank you for joining us. Bye.